Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox fan coming to you from Al Red Sox fan YouTube channel, and we're going to continue with our What If 1967 retro replay for the World Series between the Red Sox and the Cardinals. What if Tony Conigliaro and Sparky Lyle played in the World Series against the Cardinals, and Bob Gibson, Lou Brock, Curt Flood, Orlando Cepeda, Tim McCarver? Well, so far in the What If, no home team has won a game. The Cardinals came into Boston. They won 2 at Fenway. They were up 2-0 going back to St. Louis and Busch Stadium. And the Red Sox swept 3 in Busch Stadium. And travel back to Boston now in our Time Machine 1967 What If Retro Replay World Play of the World Series, up 3-2 and needing to take only 1 game at home. Will the Red Sox break the trend and finally a home team will win a game? If so, the World Series will come to an end in 6. Red Sox are up 3-2. Let's get to the starting lineups and play some dice baseball. Bobby Cantillano is in the chat. How are you, my friend? Hope all is well. Happy Monday. All right, so the Cardinals are the visiting team here at Fenway, and their starting pitcher is going to be the Game 2 winner, Dick Hughes, and he defeated Jim Lomborg in Game 2, and they're looking for some Dick Hughes magic once again to tie the series up at 3. Dick Hughes in 1967 was 16-6 with 3 saves and a 2.67 earned run average. His stamina, he's good for 24 batters. Control factor 10-63. He will be opposed by the Red Sox. A very odd choice to me that Dick Williams made in 1967. Gary Waslewski, who predominantly was a relief pitcher, no, he did have 8 starts, but still, it's a strange choice for me. Waslewski, these are the real starters, went 2-2, and he started Game 6 of the World Series. 3.21 earned run average. Control factor 10-54. Again, the Red Sox are up 3-2. 1 more win, and they will take it. For the visiting St. Louis Cardinals, their starting lineup: batting first, playing left field, Lou Brock. Batting second, playing center field, Curt Flood. Batting third, the right fielder, Roger Maris. Batting fourth, the National League MVP, the Baby Bull, Orlando Cepeda, and he's playing first base. Batting fifth, the catcher, Tim McCarver. Batting sixth, the human error machine at third for the Cardinals, Mike Shannon. He has not been stellar defensively in our retro replay of the series. Batting seventh, Julian Javier playing second base. Batting eighth, Donald Maxfield's at short. Batting ninth, the pitcher, Dick Hughes. The usual suspects, as I say, for the Cardinals, as their lineup has not altered one bit except for the number 9 slot, the pitcher. For the hometown Boston Red Sox of 1967 in the What If Tony Conigliaro and Sparky Lyle played version of the World Series, Joe Foy's back at third leading off. Batting second, once again, Mikey Andrews, as they get 2 consecutive starts. He's at second base. Carl Yastrzemski bats third, the MVP and Triple Crown winner for the American League, and he's in left field. Batting fourth is Tony Conigliaro in right field. Batting fifth, George the Boomer Scott at first base. Batting sixth, the switch-hitting center fielder, Reggie Smith. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Rico Petrocelli. Batting eighth, the catcher, Elston Howard. And batting ninth, doing the pitching, Gary Waslewski. And let's get to the ball game, as Herb Pilgrim's joined us in the chat. How are you, my friend? Glad to see you here. Alrighty. So Gary Waslewski's up on the mound. Looks in, picks up the sign from Elston Howard. Here's the pitch to Lou Brock. Waslewski, control factor 10-54, and that is a 56. So we go to the Brock card, and Waslewski's a right-handed pitcher. Brock needs a 0 through 44, and that is a 67. And a 67 is a ground ball. Ground ball to the third baseman. Charging in is Foy, and he makes the throw to first, and they just nipped Brock by a step, as that was a 71 on the error check. And Foy is an 83 defender, so he passes the error check. So 1 down, good start for Waslewski. Again, his stamina is 15 batters. Dick Hughes' stamina is 24 batters. So Brock is out. Now bring up Curt Flood, the center fielder. Let's just move this notepad over here for a moment. Righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch for Flood from Waslewski, and that's an 88. So Flood is in control. Flood needs a 0 through 45, and that is an 84. And that is a pop-up 84 to the second baseman, Mike Andrews, just on the outfield grass, error check, and that's an 84, but Mike Andrews' defensive check is a 94, so he makes the catch for out number 2, so Waslewski, 2 up, 2 down, looking good so far. Flood pops out to the second baseman Andrews, and here comes Roger Maris, the right fielder. Waslewski deals quickly to Maris, and that is a 94. We go off the Maris card. Maris against right-handed pitchers needs a 0 through 44, and that's a 41, and Roger Maris smashes his ball deep to center field, heading towards the triangle. Reggie Smith leaps, he can't get to it. Ball bounces around. Reggie Smith retrieves it, throws it back in towards the cutoff man. Here's the relay throw to third, not in time. Roger Maris with a 2-out triple to keep the inning alive. So Maris triples to the triangle. And now bring up the baby bull, Orlando Cepeda, the National League MVP. Cepeda looking to give the Cardinals an early lead here. The Cardinals trail 3-2. The Red Sox hoping to close out the St. Louis team. Waslewski takes a deep breath, looks in at Howard. Here's the pitch to Orlando Cepeda. That's a 37. So Waslewski hits his spot. Righty-righty matchup, 0 through 19 for Cepeda, and that is a 48. And a 48 is a hard-hit ground ball to Mike Andrews. He has it. He throws to first, and the side is retired. Maris is stranded at third with no damage done. So after a half inning, no score. Waslewski can now face 11 batters before fatigue sets in. And due up for the Boston Red Sox to face Dick Hughes, Joe Foy, Mike Andrews, and Carly Yastrzemski. Herb Pilgrim in the chat says, Al, one more time on your channel. Amen. Al, congratulations to your marvelous Boston Red Sox baseball team in their championship in the Fall Classic. Well, thank you very much, Herb Pilgrim. That's why, even though Herb roots for the Yankees, when a team wins, and when a team loses, a team loses. That's what you call class, my friends. Alrighty, so here comes Joe Foy getting his second start. And he'll face Dick Hughes. Hughes control factor 10 through 63. Again, he defeated Lomborg in Game 2, so he already has a win under his belt. Righty-righty matchup. Hughes picks up the sign from McCarver. Here's the pitch to Joe Foy, and that is a 34 off the Hughes card. And that's an 11. So Joe Foy with an 11 singles to right field. Good piece of hitting by Joe Foy, sitting back on the curveball, and he just goes the other way with it. So Joe Foy picks up his, I believe, his second hit of the World Series. He had one in the last game for sure. So Foy is at first. And here comes Mike Andrews. And we might play a little hit and run here. Mikey Andrews, contact is 85. Let's check the old hit and run chart. Hit and run, 85. Zero through 28. No, 0 through 30. And that's a base hit. 0 through 30. We're going to play hit and run. So it's going to be a hit and run. Here's the pitch to Mike Andrews. We can only do this once per player. And that is a 39. A 39 off the hit and run chart for an 85. Nuts. Swing and a miss. Strikeout. Okay. On a strikeout, it then, I would assume, becomes, oh boy, this is a strikeout. Batter strikes out. Lead runner also thrown out stealing. Oh my God, a double play. So a strike him out, throw him out, double play. As the Red Sox run themselves into 2 outs and possibly out of this inning. So Mike Andrews strikes out on the hit and run. And thrown out at second by Tim McCarver's Joe Foy. So it's a double play as Foy is thrown out 2-4. So 2 outs, base is empty for Carl Yastrzemski. Red Sox gambled and they came up craps. Left-handed batter, Triple Crown winner, Yastrzemski, awaits the Dick Hughes offering. Here's the pitch, homeward bound, and that is a 78. Hughes does not hit his spot. We go to the Yastrzemski card, 0 through 53, and that is a 40. Boy, that strike him out double, throw him out double play really hurts now, as that is a double over the head of Curt Flood to center. Error check on Flood now. 85. His defense is a 96. No error. He fields it cleanly and throws it back in, but Yastrzemski is at second base with 2 outs. Oh boy. The strike him out, throw him out double play comes right back to haunt the Red Sox. But now with 2 outs, Yastrzemski will be off on contact, and here comes Tony Conigliaro. Tony Conigliaro has hit the ball quite well in this series. He tripled in his last game, knocking in Yastrzemski. Red Sox 1 win away from a 1967 World Series victory here in our retro replay. No home team has won a game. Cardinals won the 2 games here at Fenway, and then the Red Sox swept 3 in St. Louis at Busch Stadium. Here's the pitch to Tony Conigliaro. Hughes deals a 90, so he is not in control. So Tony Conigliaro needs a 0 through 44, and that is a 49. And that is a swing and a miss. So Hughes blows the high fastball past Tony C. And Yastrzemski is stranded at second. Side is retired. After 1 full inning of play, no score. Hughes' stamina goes down by 4, so he can face 20 batters. We go to the top of the second. Due up for the Cardinals in this scoreless game so far. McCarver, Shannon, and Julian Javier to face Gary Waslewski. McCarver, a left-handed batter, awaits the Waslewski offering. Here's the pitch to Tim McCarver, and that is a 54. Waslewski in control. Lefties off his card need a 0 through 27, and that is a 36. Ground ball to George the Boomer Scott. He has it, waves off Waslewski, and steps on the bag. 1 away as McCarver grounds out to Scott, unassisted. So 1 out, and here comes Mike Shannon. Shannon has been horrible defensively at third. Right-handed batter. Elston Howard sets the target. Here's the pitch from Waslewski to Shannon, and that is a 60. So we go to the Shannon card, and Mike Shannon needs a righty-righty matchup, 0 through 34, and that's a 44, and that's a swing and a miss. Waslewski gets him on the sinker. So that's 2 down. And I'll bring up the second baseman for the Cardinals, Julian Javier, right-handed batter. Elston Howard wiggles the fingers, pounds the mitt, sets the target. Here's the pitch to Julian Javier, and the red die has jumped the shark. But it's right on the computer, and I can reach over and get it. And it doesn't matter, that's a 9, so he's out of control. 94, so we go to the Julian Javier card, righty-righty matchup. Waslewski doesn't hit his spots. And Julian Javier needs a 0 through 36. And that is an 88. And an 88 is a ball hit up in the air. It's a pop-up on the shallow outfield grass. Once again, Mike Andrews goes out. He's having a little difficulty with it. He bobbles it, but he makes the over-the-shoulder catch. So Mike Andrews makes the catch. His defense rating is 94. We rolled a 35. The side is retired. As Javier pops out to Andrews. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals. And Waslewski can face 8 more batters before a stamina check comes in. Fatigue. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. Due up for the Red Sox. Scott, Smith, and Petrocelli. Scott homered in the last game. Rico Petrocelli homered in the last game. And Jerry Adair, the pinch hitter, homered in the last game. So here comes George the Boomer Scott to face Dick Hughes. The windup and the pitch to Scott. And that is a 12. We go off the Hughes card. He is in control. Scott needs a 0 through 16. And that is a 68. A 68 is a line shot. Right at the second baseman, Julian Javier. 1 away. Scott hit it on the numbers, but right at Javier. So he lines out to second. 1 down. Here's Reggie Smith, switch hitting center fielder. He will bat lefty against the right-handed throwing Hughes. Hughes rocks and fires to Smith, and that is a 42. Dick Hughes, again, his control factor is 10 through 63, so he's in control. Lefties off of his card need a 0 through 20, and that is an 8. And that is a single to left. So Reggie Smith, batting left-handed, just punches the ball the other way, and he reaches. A 1-out single for Smith. The Red Sox have their 3rd hit off Hughes. And here comes Rico Petrocelli. Petrocelli has some pop in that bat of his. Shortstop for the Red Sox. Here's the pitch to Petrocelli from Dick Hughes, and that's a 68. Hughes is not in control. Petrocelli righty-righty matchup. He needs a 0 through 40, and Petrocelli gets a 21. And a 21 is a single to center. And stopping at second base, station to station, as we roll for the error check on Kurt Flood. He's outstanding. He has 96 defense rating. It's a 51. He fields the ball cleanly and throws it back in. So Reggie Smith's at second now, and Rico Petrocelli is at first. So after a line out by Scott, the Red Sox have hit Hughes hard because 2 consecutive singles with 1 out. And here comes Elston Howard, the catcher. And Howard hit putrid against right-handed pitching, only .084. Gary Waslewski's on deck. Hughes bears down, takes a deep breath, arms down to his chest, the windup and the pitch to Elston Howard, and that's an 83. We go to the Howard card. Elston Howard needs a 0 through 16. He would have been better off going off the pitcher card. And that is an 83. An 83 is a ball hit up in the air, sky high, pop up towards Cepeda at first. He's under it, waiting for it to come down. Error check. No error. He makes the catch. 2 down. As Smith and Petrocelli are still on the base paths. Petrocelli at first, Smith at second. And here comes the pitcher, Gary Waslewski. Can he help his own cause? Runners will be off on contact. Hughes deals quickly to his counterpart, Waslewski. And that is a 12. We go to the Hughes card. And that's a 22. And it's a righty-righty matchup, and that's a swing and a miss. Side is retired. Red Sox strand 2. We go to the top of the third, still scoreless here in Game 6 of our Retro Replay World Series. And Hughes faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from 20, he goes to 15 batters before fatigue sets in. And the top of the third for the Cardinals, they'll be sending Dahl Maxfield to the plate, then the pitcher Dick Hughes in the top of the order, Lou Brock. Dahl Maxfield, a shortstop, right-handed batter. Here's the pitch from Waslewski to Dahl Maxfield, and that's a 92. A 92 goes to the Maxfield card, righty-righty matchup, and that is 0 through 33. He reaches base safely, and that is a 9, and he walks. So Dahl Maxfield works a walk. So he walks, and here comes Dick Hughes. Cardinals pitchers, they have the pitchers have a pitcher's batting card. It's generic for all the pitchers. They combined all the statistics, I believe. And their bunting is 95, and that's just what he's going to do. He's going to sacrifice bunt here. And all you do is you roll off the chart. It doesn't matter infield in, any of that stuff on a sacrifice bunt. I said it yesterday. I've read through the rules, and I'll read through them again. I just don't want to. I've gone through them a few times, and I don't see anything on it. It just says go to the sacrifice bunt chart, and that's what we're going to do. Not bunting for a base hit, not squeeze play. We're sacrifice bunt for Dick Hughes. Here we go, sacrifice chart. 95, so a successful bunt is 0 through 74. You got to bunt them over with those 74% chance. And it's a very good bunt. It's a 21. And fielding the ball is the first baseman. And again, no wheel play on. Covering the first base bag is Waslewski. So that goes 3-1. Nice play by Scott. So Scott fields Waslewski, who steps on the bag. And there's one out, but moving over to second is Dahl Maxfield on the sac bunt. So Hughes does his job. One out. Dahl Maxfield in scoring position. His speed number is 71. And top of the order, Lou Brock. He grounded out to first his first time up. Here's the pitch from Waslewski to Brock, and that is a 20. So it goes off the Waslewski card. Brock's a lefty, and lefties need a 0 through 27, and that's an 87. And that is a ball that is up in the air, foul territory. First base side. Scott going towards the stands, reaches in, and he makes the catch. George the Boomer Scott, nice catch. So Brock is now 0 for 2. And George the Boomer Scott's been involved in both of those outs. So he pops out to Scott. 2 outs. Maxfield at second. He'll be off on contact for Curt Flood, who popped out to Mike Andrews on the outfield grass. Waslewski readies himself. He kicks and fires to Flood. And that is a 0-9, so this will be a range play. And the defender is a 68. So a 68 on a range play is the left fielder, Carl Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski's range in left field is 85. And that is an 84. Oh, boy. 85 and an 84 is a single. As Yastrzemski tries to make the diving catch, it squirts out of his glove, and racing around from second base to score the first run of the game, and for the Cardinals is Dahl Maxfield on the RBI single by Curt Flood. So the Cardinals strike first with 2 outs. Curt Flood, sinking line drive. Yastrzemski made a bid on it. The dive had it in his glove, and as he hit the ground, it squirted out. So it's an RBI for Flood. And Maxville scores 1-0 Cardinals. Waslewski good for 4 more batters, and he'll face Roger Maris, who tripled off of him. Here's the pitch to Maris from Waslewski, and that's a 27. We go to the Waslewski card. Lefties need a 0 through 27, and that is a 60. That's a line shot out to center field. Reggie Smith racing back, reaching up, and he makes the catch for the out. So Reggie Smith saves extra bases and another run, but the Cardinals strike first on the 2-out single by Flood. Great effort by Yastrzemski, just couldn't come up with it. 1-0 Cardinals as we go to the bottom of the third. And Waslewski faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so he's only good for 3 more batters before fatigue sets in. Due up in the bottom of the third for the Red Sox, who now trail by 1. At the top of the order, Joe Foy, Mike Andrews, and Carl Yastrzemski. Foy is 1 for 1. He singled off Dick Hughes. Right-handed batter digs in, ready to grip and rip. Here's the pitch from Hughes to Foy. That's a 44 off the Hughes card. And again, righties need a 0 through 16. And that is a 2. And Foy walks. So once again, Foy's on base to start off the third inning on the walk. Free pass for Joe Foy. And Mike Andrews, we tried to hit and run. It was a strike him out, throw him out, double play. And took the next batter, Yastrzemski doubled. So here's the pitch to Andrews. And Hughes deals a 52, so we go off the Hughes card. Looking to throw a double play ball here. Again, Andrews needs a 0 through 16. And that's a 28. And a 28 is a strikeout. Got him looking on the curveball. So once again, Mike Andrews K's. The good news is it wasn't a strike him out, throw him out double play. So 1 out, 1 on for Carl Yastrzemski. Yaz, 1 swing of the bat out of the ballpark. The Red Sox will go up. McCarver sets the target. Here's the pitch to Yastrzemski. And that is a 0-1. So it will be a range play. And that's an 81. A range play. 81 is to the center fielder, Curt Flood. And Curt Flood's range is 94. Oh, absolutely wonderful defender. And that is a 69 on a 94. That ball's hit to the gap. Flood racing over right center field. He reaches out and he makes the catch. Quickly retreating back to first base is Foy. So a nice catch by Curt Flood, robbing Yastrzemski of possible extra bases. So 2 outs. Foy will be off on contact. Here's Tony Conigliaro. Again, 1 swing of the bat by Tony C, and the Sox can be up 2-1. He struck out his first time up. McCarver goes through the signs. Hughes nods his head. Here's the pitch to Conigliaro. And that is a 62. Just staying in control is Dick Hughes. And that is a 34. And that is a strikeout. A big swing and a miss by Tony C. Side is retired on another K by Dick Hughes. We go to the top of the 4th. And it's 1-0 Cardinals. And Dick Hughes faced 4 batters. So he's good for 11 more before fatigue sets in. And back out on the mound for the top of the 4th is Gary Waslewski. The Red Sox already have their pen going. Waslewski's good for 3 batters, and he will face the Baby Bull, National League MVP Orlando Cepeda, then Tim McCarver and Mike Shannon. Cepeda grounded to second his first time up. Waslewski's ready to work. He deals to Cepeda, and that is a 69. We go to the Cepeda card because Waslewski's control is 10 through 54. Righty-righty matchup. Cepeda needs a 0 through 45, and that's a 20. And a 20 is a single to center. Error check for Reggie Smith. Note, 79. Reggie Smith's defense is 94, so he fields it cleanly and throws it back in. But Cepeda is on first to lead off the 4th with a single. Waslewski now good for 2 batters. And here's Tim McCarver. McCarver grounded out to first unassisted. Left-handed batter. Howard sets the target. Here's the pitch to his counterpart, Tim McCarver. And that is a 56. And again, Waslewski having trouble at finding his spots. McCarver needs a 0 through 48. And he will not get it. That is a 94. And that is a fly ball. A 94 is a fly ball to center field, and Reggie Smith, we have to go with an error check here. And Reggie Smith comes in and makes the running catch for out number 1. Retreating back to first is Cepeda. So McCarver flies out to center. And here's Dahl Maxfield. This is the last batter that Waslewski can face before fatigue sets in. Maxfield was a strikeout victim of Gary Waslewski. Waslewski kicks and fires to Shannon. I said Maxfield, sorry. To Shannon. And that is an 89. So we go to the Shannon card. Righty-righty matchup. Shannon needs a 0 through 34. And that's a 71. A 71 is a ground ball. See, this will advance the base runner. And that's a 7 to a right-handed batter. Ground ball C. And that's to the first baseman, George the Boomer Scott. He throws to Waslewski covering the bag. And that's a 94 on the error check. And Scott's is a 96. So Waslewski makes one heck of a play on the high throw. Leaps up. Gets the ball. Comes down on the first base bag. And they just nip Mike Shannon. Advancing to second is Cepeda with 2 outs. As that's 3-1. So 2 outs, and Julian Javier comes up. And now Waslewski's control factor will go down by 5, so it's 10 through 49. We're going to try to get him through this top of the 4th. 10 through 49. Red Sox bullpen resting for the moment. Javier popped out to second. Here's the pitch to Javier from Waslewski, and that's a 58, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway, as it would have been out of his control factor. So righty-righty matchup. Javier 0 through 36, and it's a 17. So Julian Javier is going to single to center field. 2 outs. They're going to wave Cepeda around. Cepeda's base running ability is 78. And with 2 outs, there is no modification. There is no modification with 2 outs. Trying to score on a single from second. And the ball's hit to center. And Reggie Smith's arm is a -7. So Cepeda will go from a 78 to a 71. Reggie Smith comes up throwing. And he is safe at the plate as he beats the Smith throw. And it's 2-0 Cardinals as they must win to stave off elimination. A clutch hit by Julian Javier with 2 outs. Picks up the RBI, and it's now 2-0 Cardinals. As once again, a home team's in danger of not winning a game at home. So Waslewski now's control factor goes down another 5. So it's 10 through 45. And here's Dahl Maxfield. He walked and scored. Here's the pitch from Waslewski with Javier at first. And that is a 97. Again, it wouldn't have mattered. 97 righty-righty matchup. Maxfield needs a 0 through 33. And that's a 21. So the Cardinals' bats have come alive here in Game 6, knowing that elimination is on the line. A 21 is a single to center. Error check. No error. Cleanly fielded and thrown back in towards the infield. Stopping at second base is Julian Javier. So back-to-back 2-out singles. And here's Dick Hughes, the pitcher. So that was 49, 45, 39. But Waslewski will try to get the pitcher, Dick Hughes. 10 through 39 now is his control factor. And again, it wouldn't have mattered. It's an 86. We go to the pitcher's card. And that's a 30. And that's a strikeout. So Waslewski strikes out Dick Hughes. But the Cardinals get another run. And Waslewski's day is done. He went 4 innings. Cardinals get another run. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 2-0 St. Louis. They're down 3-2. If the Red Sox buck the trend and become the first home team to actually win a game, they win the World Series. As Bob says, leave Waslewski in! Bob's a big, Barb Borowick is a big Cardinals fan, so I'm happy for him on that one. Waslewski will be done because he's well past his control. So he went 4 innings. Can't win it. He can only lose it. And we'll decide who will bring it next. Excuse me. Still a little under the weather. So it's 2-0 bottom of the fourth. And due up for the Red Sox to face Dick Hughes, who's still good for 11 batters. Scott, Smith, and Petrocelli. George the Boomer Scott lined out, hit the ball right on the button, but lined out when he hit it right at Julian Javier. Here's the pitch from Hughes to Scott, and that is a 22, so Dick Hughes, and that was a 6. Dick Hughes stays in command. Scott needs a 0 through 16, and he will not get to it. He gets a Route 66. And a Route 66 is a ground ball to short. And that is an out. A good strong throw by Dahl Maxfield to Cepeda. 1 down here in the bottom of the fourth. Cardinals lead 2-0. Here comes Reggie Smith. He singled, was stranded at second his first time up. Smith digs in. Hughes picks up the sign from McCarver. He rocks and deals. And Smith, that's a 56. Again, still Hughes is in control. His control factor 10 through 63. Smith is batting lefty, though. And that is a 46. And a 46 is a hard hit ground ball to second. Javier has it. Throws to Cepeda. 2 down. So Hughes is in his zone right now. 2 down. No one on for Rico Petrocelli. He singled his first time up. Here's the pitch to Petrocelli. Hughes deals a 61, still in control. Petrocelli, right-handed batter, 0 through 16. He will not get it. That's a 91, and that is a fly ball. Out to center field, and Curt Flood has it. Side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Boston Red Sox. We go to the top of the fifth. 2-0 St. Louis Cardinals. And he faced 3, so he goes from 11 to 8. And we now need a new pitcher for Gary Waslewski. And we're going to go with the pitchers they used Gary Bell and John Wyatt. But we have Sparky Lyle in the mix too. John Wyatt actually blew the save, and Gary Bell, he ended up getting the win, and Gary Bell ended up getting the save. But I think we're going to use Gary Bell first. We don't have to do exactly what they do. We don't. My God, we have Tony Conigliaro and Sparky Lyle playing. So Gary Bell, who did start a game but lost. Actually, I think Gary Bell won his game. My faux pas. I think Gary Bell won Game 3. Game 2, Game 3. No, Sparky Lyle end up winning Game 3, but Gary Bell started. So Gary Bell will come in. His stamina is 24, but because he's pitching out of the pen, we'll reduce that to 12. And in later series of cards, they do have a stamina whether you relieved or started. And Gary Bell did pitch 5 times out of the pen in the regular season. So we're going to give him a 12. So Waslewski's day is done. Here comes Gary Ding Dong Bell, who the Red Sox acquired from the Indians, I believe, when they traded Tony Horton early in the year. So here's Gary Bell, and his control factor is 10 through 55, and we're saying he's good for 12 batters. So Gary Ding Dong Bell in the game, and he'll face Brock, Flood, and Maris, the top of the order. Lou Brock is 0 for 2. Bell picks up the sign. Here's the pitch to Brock, and that is an 80. So we go to the Brock card, and Brock against righties needs a 0 through 44, and that is a 72. And a 72 is a slowly hit ground ball to Petrocelli. Petrocelli comes charging in, barehands it, air check, and he makes the play. Nice stretch by George the Boomer Scott, and they have kept Brock off the base pads at 6-3. Brock now 0 for 3. So 1 out, and here comes Curt Flood. He knocked in the first run for the Cardinals. RBI single, top of the third. He knocked in Dahl Maxwell. He's also popped out to Mikey Andrews at second. Here's the pitch from Bell to Flood, and it's not with love. That's a 38. Gary Ding Dong Bell's in control. Righty-righty matchup. Flood needs a 0 through 17. And he gets a 17! Flood drives his ball deep! Looking up is Yastrzemski. It is gone! Curt Flood hits it over the green monster, and it's 3-0. You can hear the cheers from St. Louis now. So Gary Ding Dong Bell gets his bell rung. And rounding the bases is Curt Flood. As Bob Barwick in the chat says, Al getting close to bringing out those loaded die you use when Yaz and Reggie Smith are up. LOL. All right. I wish I used the loaded die then. As Flood homers, 3-0 Cardinals. No home team has won a game so far in this series. 1 out. No one on. Here's Roger Maris. He tripled and was stranded at third in the first. Then he flew out to Reggie Smith in center. Howard sets the target. Here's the pitch to Maris. And that is a 0-2, so it will be a range check. And that's a 77. So a 77, the range check will be on, once again, Reggie Smith in center. Reggie Smith's range is not 92. The roll by Maris is a 24. That's going to be an out. 92 on a 24. And that is a fly ball out. 1 down. 2 down, excuse me. So once again, Maris flies out to Reggie Smith. 2 outs, base is empty. But it's a 3-0 lead thanks to the Curt Flood blast over the monster. And now stepping to the plate is the baby bull, Orlando Cepeda. He's 1 for 2. He grounded to second his first time, then singled and would score on the 2-out single by Julian Javier in the fourth. Bell deals to the... Oop, get back over here. Bell, oop, get back over here. The die's jumping. Bell deals to the baby bull, and that's a 76. So we go off the Cepeda card. And righty-righty matchup, 0 through 45, and that is an 80. And an 80 is a slow... No, that's a line shot. I looked in the wrong column. That's a line shot to the second baseman, Mike Andrews. He makes a leap for it. 62 on the defense check. He has it! What a catch! His defense is a 94. We rolled to 62. What a catch by Mike Andrews. Side is retired. But the Cardinals tack another single blow up on the board. On the homer by Flood, we go to the bottom of the fifth, 3-0 St. Louis. And Gary Bell faced 4 batters, so he's good for 8. due up for the Red Sox in the bottom of the fifth, to face Dick Hughes, Elston Howard, possibly Gary Ding Dong Bell, and Joe Foy. Down 3-0. We'll probably go to a pinch hitter. We'll see. Here's Elston Howard. Howard popped out to Cepeda in foul territory. First time up. Hughes deals to Howard, and that's a 54. Hughes' control factor 10 through 63, so Elston Howard needs a 0 through 16, and he gets it. 0-1. He works a walk. Good at bat by Elston Howard. He battled him, fouled off a few balls, and then didn't chase. So Howard is on first with a walk, and now it's decision time. Do we let Gary Ding Dong Bell hit, which would be a sacrifice? And Red Sox pitcher's sacrifice rating is a 95. He will sacrifice, as we want to keep him in the game to pitch. So a 95 on the bunt. Go to the sacrifice chart here. He squares. Here's the pitch from Hughes, and that's an 80. Oh boy. A 95 and an 80. Catcher to lead base. Make sure I'm seeing that right. 80. Yep. So McCarver pounces on the bunt, throws to the shortstop, and they get the lead runner on the force out. Safe at first is Gary Ding Dong Bell. So the Red Sox not doing the little things right, that's for sure. So Gary Bell reaches on the fielder's choice. Howard is out. And Bell reaches on the fielder's choice, and that was 2-6. So 1 out, and Bell is at first, and the Red Sox pitchers run at a 70 speed. And I'll bring the top of the order, Joe Foy. Red Sox trailing 3-0. Foy is 1 for 1. He singled and walked. Hughes picks up the sign. Here's the pitch to Foy, and that is a 24, so Hughes is in control. And again, Foy's a righty, and righties need a 0 through 16 off the Hughes card. They're not going to get that. That's a 72. And a 72 is a hard hit ball out to center field. And coming in, making the shoestring catch is Curt Flood. Quickly retreating back to first is Gary Ding Dong Bell. So 2 outs. Bell will be off on contact. Here's Mikey Andrews. First time up on a hit and run. He struck out, and the Red Sox ran themselves into a double play. And it really hurt because Yastrzemski doubled next. And his last time up, Andrews struck out against Hughes. So he's been a strikeout victim twice. Hughes looking for the hat trick. Here's the pitch to Mike Andrews, and that's a 22. Hughes is in control, 0 through 16, and that's a 4. And that is a single to left. Station to station goes Gary Ding Dong Bell. And with 2 outs, 2 on, Cardinals up 3-0. The tying run comes to the plate, and Carl Yastrzemski, he has doubled and flown out to center. And for Bob Borowick, we're going to get the loaded dice out now. Alrighty. Yastrzemski looking to jack one out. MVP Triple Crown winner in 1967. McCarver goes through the signs. Dick Hughes nods his head. The windup and the pitch to Yastrzemski. And that's a 17, so we go to the Hughes card. He's still in control. And lefties need a 0 through 20. And Yastrzemski, that is a 63. A 63 is a ground ball. Charging in is Javier. He has it. A quick pivot throws to first, and they get Yaz by a step. Side is retired. Nice play by Julian Javier. The Red Sox strand 2. We go to the top of the 6th. 3-0 Cardinals. So Dick Hughes faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from 8, we subtract the 5, and he's good for 3 more batters in the bottom of the 6th. We go to the top of the 6th, and Gary Ding Dong Bell's still out there. Failed sacrifice bunt and all. He's given up a homer to Flood. 3-0 Cardinals. Due up McCarver, Shannon, and Julian Javier. Tim McCarver is 0 for 2. Here's the pitch from Bell to McCarver, and that is a 40. Bell is in control, 10 through 55. And that is a 64. And a 64 for a left-handed batter off the Bell card is a ground ball, a number in front of the plate. Picking it up is Howard, and he throws out his counterpart at first. So 1 down, as that goes 2-3. And he'll bring up Mike Shannon, the third baseman. He is struck out and grounded out to first. Mike Shannon has been absolutely horrid at third base in this series. I'm pretty sure Bob Gibson is going to shoot him after the series is over. Here's the pitch from Bell to Shannon, and that's a 25. We go off the Gary Ding Dong Bell card, and that is a 10. Righty-righty matchup in a 10, and Shannon hits a hard ball right back up through the box, past Bell into center field. So Mike Shannon gets a 1-out single. Now Bell will try to induce a double play ball, and here comes Julian Javier. He's 1 for 2. He had that clutch 2-out RBI to give the Cardinals their second run in the top of the 4th. Shannon takes a slight lead. Scott holding him on. Bell takes a peek. Now he deals to Julian Javier, and that's a 94. So Bell misses his spot. We go to the Javier card. He's in control. Righty-righty matchup. He needs a 0 through 36. And that is a 6. And that's a single to left. Julian Javier with another hit. Shannon goes station to station. And Javier's now 2 for 3. So first and second, with only 1 out, the Cardinals up 3-0. No home team has won a game. Hello to Clinton Parks and the original Grognard. Check out those great channels. Original Grognard, military strategy and some sports, along with some adventure role-playing games. And Clinton Parks, retro baseball. Here comes Dahl Maxville, 1 out, 2 on. Maxville has walked and singled and scored a run. Howard goes out to have a word with Gary Bell. It's a quick word. Howard back behind the plate, squats down, sets the target. Bell kicks and fires, and the red die has jumped the shark. You son of a gun. Now I gotta find the red die, because I only have so many 10-sided die. And they're right there. These are the 3. And where is the red die? You son of a gun. There you are. I see you hiding. Trying to pull a Gigio. Run free! Run free! Shut up, Gigio. Oh. Alright, so that is a 5 and a 5. That's a 55. It goes off the Gary Bell card. And Dahl Maxville, righty-righty matchup, so 0 through 17. And it's a 16, as Dahl Maxville has put another ball over the wall. That is a 3-run homer. And the Cardinals go up 6-0. Unbelievable. It looks like a home team will lose once again on the 3-run homer by Dahl Maxville, as Gary Ding Dong Bell hung a curveball. And greeting Maxville as he rounds the bases and touches home plate are Julian Javier, Mike Shannon, and Dick Hughes, the pitcher. There is much joy in Mudville, as it's now 6-0. Gary Ding Dong Bell did not spell relief, that's for sure. 1 out, and here comes Dick Hughes. Bell can face 4 more batters. We just want to milk them through this inning now, as the Cardinals have taken complete control and command. You know, Bob, I thought about because they were down to start Gibson, but Dick Hughes actually pitched pretty well, so I stuck with him, who really pitched. So they'll be facing Gibby in Game 7. Cardinals look like they will win this, and still a lot of game to play. Here's the pitch from Bell to his counterpart Hughes, and that's a 27. We go off the Bell card, and that's a 14. Unbelievable. And Dick Hughes doubles to left field off the monster. Unbelievable. Righty-righty matchup. Dick Hughes doubles. When things go bad, they go bad. And Dick Williams is irate in the dugout as a fellow Richard doubles off the Green Monster. And here comes Lou Brock. And they want Gary Ding Dong Bell to get out of this inning. 1 out, man at second. Brock 0 for 3. Bell kicks and fires. And that's an 18. We go to the Gary Ding Dong Bell card. Brock needs a 0 through 22. And that's a 17. And that's a double. And that goes to left center field. And scoring from second base is Dick Hughes. And Lou Brock picks up his first hit in the top of the 6th after going 0 for 3. As Gary Ding Dong Bell has been KO'd, they have rung his bell over and over and over again. The Cardinals have scored 4. There's only 1 out. And Gary Ding Dong Bell's day is done. So Bell is done. He was god-awful. Bell pitched 1 1/3 innings and gave up 4 runs. An ERA of a gazillion. So coming in, he did not come in the real game, but we're going to go with Lee Stinger Stang. I don't know why he didn't get a start. I don't get that. I know he was 8-10, but his ERA was 2.77. I would have started him. Again, I don't know who was injured or arm hurt or was tired. So Lee Stinger Stang comes in out of the bullpen to hopefully get these final 2 outs. He's good for 21 batters, and we're going to give him, because he hasn't really pitched. I mean, he pitched a little bit in one game. Lee Stinger Stang, we're going to give him 15 batters. And again, it's just, and he pitched out of the pen 11 times, so it's not like he didn't pitch out of the pen. So here's Lee Stang. As Gary Bell gives the ball to Dick Williams, who just sort of glares at him. And we're going to say Lee Stang's good for 15 batters. 21 in a start, so we're going to say 15. And he'll face Curt Flood. Flood is 2 for 3. He singled and knocked in a run and homered. So he has 2 ribbies. He also has popped out to second. Standing at second is Brock. Here's the pitch from Lee Stinger Stang to Curt Flood. Righty-righty matchup. That is a 92. And that is not in control. Stang 10 through 66. We go to the Flood card. And with the floodgates open, that is a 64. A 64 is a bounding ground ball to Rico Petrocelli. Petrocelli's up with it. He throws to first. For out number 2, holding at second is Brock. So 6-3. Flood is now 2 for 4. And here comes Roger Maris. He's 1 for 3 with a triple. He's flown out twice to Reggie Smith. The Stinger deals to Maris. And that is a 0-1 range play. They have not been kind to the Red Sox, the range plays. Let's see who the fielder is going to be. And that's going to be a 13. And a 13 on a range play is the catcher, Elston Howard. And Howard, even at this advanced age, has a 92 range. So as long as it's not a high roll, and it's a 53, I believe Howard will make the play and throw out Maris. So a 92 on a 53, that is an out. Side is mercifully retired as Maris nubs it in front of the plate and Howard throws to Scott. But the Cardinals bludgeon Gary Bell ring his bell for 4 runs and KO him. They now lead 7-0. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, they pick up 4. The big blow, the 3-run homer by Dahl Maxwell. Unlikely power source, but he put it over the monster. A la Bucky Dent. So 7-0. And the Stang faced 2 batters, so he's good for 13. And due up for the Red Sox, needing to get their bats busy. It will be Tony Conigliaro, George Scott, and Reggie Smith to face Dick Hughes. He's good for 3 batters. Once again, he's befuddling the Red Sox. Hughes deals to Tony Conigliaro. That is a 64, just out of Hughes' control factor. Tony C needs a 0 through 44, and he gets a 90. That's a fly ball. And that's a fly ball. Drifting back is Brock at the warning track. The left fielder makes the catch. 1 away. Conigliaro is now 0 for 3. He struck out twice, and now, as you witnessed, flying out to Lou Brock. Here comes George Scott. He's 0 for 2. Hughes sets and fires to Scott, and that's a 16. Dick Hughes is in a zone. Scott, right-handed batter, needs a 0 through 16, and he's not. 0-2. 0-2. I almost said 20. Green die first. And Scott works a walk. Scott, not usually a patient batter, gets a walk here. Red Sox desperately need base runners. They're down by 7, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, here's Reggie Smith. He is singled and grounded to second. Smith, switch hitter, batting lefty. Can Hughes impose a double play ball? Last batter before fatigue sets in on Hughes. Here's the pitch to Reggie Smith, and that is a 95. We go to the Reggie Smith card. Against right-handed pitching, he needs a 0 through 38. And that is a 3. And he walks as Hughes is tiring now. So 1 out, 2 on. Enrico Petrocelli coming up. Fatigue factor now comes into play. We -5, so Dick Hughes goes from 10 to 63 to 10 to 58. Yes, 10 to 58. So 10 to 58, they're going to give him another batter. It's Petrocelli. Petrocelli 1 for 2. He's singled and flown out to center. Rico hoping for something to grip and rip on the tiring Dick Hughes. McCarver sets the target. Here's the pitch to Petrocelli, and that is a 60, and no longer that's where it happens. He's not in control anymore. Petrocelli, he would have been. Petrocelli needs a 0 through 40, and Petrocelli gets a 32, and Petrocelli sends his high off the green monster, and scoring from second on the Petrocelli double is George the Boomer Scott. The Red Sox are on the board. Going first to third is Reggie Smith. He'll be held at third. And Petrocelli, an RBI 1-out double. They finally break through against Dick Hughes. Elston Howard coming up. And then a pinch hitter, most likely, for Lee Stinger Stang. Well, definitely a pinch hitter for Lee Stinger Stang. The Cardinals used, and they actually got bludgeoned in this game at the end, 8-4. They came back and tied it up off Wyatt. They used a ton of pitchers in this game. They did use, after Dick Hughes, they used Ron Wills, I have them in order, Nelson Briles, Jack Lamabee, Joe Horner, Larry Jaster, Ray Washburn, and Hal Woodschick. Say that 10 times fast. And some of these guys only went against one batter, so it looked like there's a lot of mixing and matching when I was looking it up in Baseball Reference. I don't know if I want to go to Ron Willis. I might. Righties. We don't have any lefties on the bench, do we? Oh, we had some. Briles is slightly better. I'm not going to go to Ron. I'm not going to go to Ron Willis. I'm going to go with Nelson Briles. He was 14-5. Because Nelson Briles, lefties hit 263, righties 223. Ron Willis, lefties hit 299, and righties 242. I mean, hell, Jack Lamabee has slightly better numbers if you put them together. Should I go the way they did? All right, we will. We'll go Ron Willis, and they'll try to get 2 outs here. Ron Willis. I'll do what they did. Again, they were losing. That's what I'm saying. They were losing at the time when he came in the game. All right, we're going to go Ron Willis. But see, then I'm going to counter with lefty Jose Tartabull, though he didn't hit well. But if we get off the... Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We'll play it the way they did it. Because if I would have started Gibson in this game, but I did what they did. So, again, that's why it's Retro Replay Sim. Okay, so Ron Willis comes in the game. Ron Willis. Dick Hughes gives up 1 run. He's responsible for 2 base runners. He went 5 1/3. And here comes Ron Willis. Ron Willis, a right-handed thrower, as I stated. He was 6-5 with a 2.67 earned run average. And coming off the bench to pinch hit for Elston Howard is Jose Tartabull, the lefty. Lefties hit 299 off of Willis. But Tartabull only batted 235 or 222 off righties. So it's a tale of 2 cities. And here comes Jose Tartabull, father of Danny Tartabull, former major leaguer. Both obviously played for the Red Sox. Not obviously, but they did. So here comes the pinch hitter, Jose Tartabull, 1 out. Petrocelli is at second. Reggie Smith is at first. Cardinals are up 7-1. Willis done with his warm-up tosses. McCarver has a quick word. Back behind the plate. Here's the pitch to Jose Tartabull, and that is a 29, so we go off the Willis card, which is probably better for Jose Tartabull. And 0 through 31, and that is a 66, Route 66. And the Red Sox will get no kicks on Route 66. A 66 what is this? 66 is a line shot right back at the pitcher, Ron Willis, and he makes the catch in self-defense, robbing Jose Tartabull of a hit. Nice play. Diving back to third is Reggie Smith, as Willis pumped that way but held on to the ball. So 2 outs now. 2 outs. And Willis is good for 5 batters. Now he's good for 4. And here comes another pinch hitter, as Lee Stang's day is done. So Lee Stang pitched 2/3 and got Gary Ding Dong Bell and the Red Sox out of that horrid inning where the Cardinals scored 4. So Stang is done. And now we're going to go to Ken Hawk Harrelson and hope that the Hawk can run into something. Not that he hit well in 67 for the Red Sox. He only batted 189. Yeah, we can't go to the Hawk. Oh, Dalton Jones. Dalton Jones. What am I, silly? Dalton Jones. I should have went to Dalton Jones already, but that's all right. Here's Dalton Jones, and we can go double switch. Dalton Jones comes in. I should have went Dalton Jones before. So Dalton Jones comes in, another lefty, and he batted 301 off righties. Will they counter? They're going to let Wills pitch. Or will they? Dalton Jones at the plate, and that's it. The Cardinals, who have to win this game, will go with Joe Horner, the lefty. Here comes Joe Horner. Wait a second. Horner. Let's see something here. I think it's too soon to go to Horner. Larry Jaster. They're going to go to Larry Jaster, the lefty. Lefties only batted .217 off of him, and Dalton Jones only batted .188, so here comes Larry Jaster. Willis's day is done. Pitched a third. Here comes Larry Jaster. And Jaster is good for another one of these hybrids. See, 23 starts, 11 relief appearances, 19 stamina. We're going to give him 12 stamina out of the pen. All right, so here comes Larry Jaster. 2 outs. Dalton Jones, lefty-lefty matchup. McCarver, quick word, he's done. Back behind the plate, squats down, sets the target. Here's the pitch from Jaster to Jones, and that is a 61. And Jaster's control factor 10 through 59. But Dalton Jones only batted .188 against lefties, and he needs a 0 through 27. And Dalton Jones gets a 25. He launches that ball deep to center field. No one's catching that. Dalton Jones, lefty-lefty matchup, 21 through 27 is a home run, and it's a 52, Al. I got all excited. See, I knew I was dyslexic, see. Green die first. Green die first. So the 52 is a hard-hit ground ball. 52. No, that is a strikeout. Swing and a miss. Dalton Jones has struck out. See, Bob, I didn't cheat. I did it just for you, Bob. I knew it was a 52. I got Bob. Bob must have been, oh, no. Because I really did that with Tony Conigliaro in one game. I looked at the wrong die. You look at the green die first, 52. I just wanted to pull your leg, Bob. So, Dalton Jones strikes out with 2 runners on. I thought it was funny. Red Sox do get 1. We go to the top of the 7th. 7-1 Cardinals. Okay. Top of the 7th. Cardinals playing for their World Series lives, and they have a 6-run lead. Due up and we need a pitcher. Lee Stinger Stings out. I don't want to go to Sparky, Lyle, or John Wyatt. We're down. Jerry Stevenson will come in. He actually, I do not think, pitched in this game, but that's who's coming in. Jerry Stevenson. So Jerry Stevenson will come in, the 4th Red Sox pitcher. And again, starter reliever type of guy. Started 6 games, had 2 relief appearances, and he was on the World Series roster. Pretty sure he's on it. So he's good for 20. We're going to say he's good for 10. Here's Jerry Stevenson. Stevenson, the right-hander. And Stevenson will face, in the top of the 7th, Cepeda, McCarver, and Shannon. 7-1 lead, Cardinals. As Bob says, you did. That was good. I wanted to fire you, LOL. I brought in the lefty. It was too soon to go to Horner. Though I don't know when they actually went to him. I should have looked at that. I just pulled the card. I think they went to him later, but they were losing. Well, they had to have tied the game because John Wyatt, whatever. He blew the save. He ended up getting the win And Gary Ding Dong Bell actually got the save. So, all right. So here's the pitch from Stevenson to Cepeda. And that is a 57, and Stevenson's control factor is only 10 through 45. Righty-righty matchup. Cepeda is in control here, and he is 1 for 3. He has singled and scored. And Cepeda is a 32, and a 32 righty-righty matchup is a single to right. So Cepeda goes the other way. He picks up another hit. 1 out, no out. Cepeda at first. Here's Tim McCarver. He's 0 for 3. Stevenson trying to induce a double play ball. Scott holding Cepeda on. Here's the pitch to Tim McCarver, and that's a 16. We go to the Stevenson card. Lefties need a 0 through 22 to reach safely. And that's a 12, so McCarver singles to left. He goes the other way. Cepeda goes 90 feet and stops. The Cardinals, in this elimination game for them, have had their hitting shoes, or their hitting cleats on, we could say. Red Sox pitching. No one has spelled relief. Actually, Gary Waslewski was not too bad. So first and second for Mike Shannon. He's 1 for 3. He singled and scored on the 3-run homer by the unlikely shortstop, Dal Maxfield. Stevenson rocks and fires to Shannon, and that's a 72. Righty-righty matchup goes off the Shannon card. Shannon needs a 0 through 34, and he gets a 90, because the green guy's a 9, red's a 0, so it's a 90. There will be an error check. Always off the hitter's card, there's an error check. Never off the pitcher's card. So a 90 is a fly ball, and that is hit out to the left fielder, Carl Yastrzemski. And Yastrzemski's range in left is an 85. Defense, not range. His defense is a 94. We rolled a 59. He makes the catch, 1 away. Base runners retreat back to their respective bases, so Shannon flies out to Yaz. And I'll bring up Julian Javier. He singled and scored. Javier, actually, he's 2 for 3. He is singled, scored, and has a ribby. So 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. Shannon's at first. Again, Stevenson hopes to induce a double play ball to end the inning. Here's the pitch to Julian Javier, and that is a 0-2 range check. Lots of range checks today. That's an 83. And I think that, again, is going to be to Reggie Smith, I think. So an 83, 77 through 89 is a center fielder. So Reggie Smith on another range check. I think this is like our 3rd for Reggie Smith. His range in center is 92. And that's a 45. That will be an out. A 92 and a 45 is an out. He makes the catch. So there's 2 outs, 2 on. First and second. And I'll bring up Dal Maxfield. Maxfield is 2 for 2. He has walked and scored, singled, and hit a 3-run homer. Can he send another one? This unlikely power surge. Here's the pitch to Dal Maxfield from Jerry Stevenson. That's a 73. We go to the Dal Maxfield card. Righty-righty matchup. Righty. Get your righties here. He needs a 0 through 33. What's funny is he does not have a home run on his card. He hit it off the pitcher's card. That's what was funny. And that is a 37. And that's a swing and a miss. Side is retired. Cardinals put 2 on but can't score. As after the initial singles by Cepeda and McCarver, Stevenson gets Shannon to fly to left, Javier to fly to center, and Maxfield to strike out. We go to the bottom of the 7th, and the run scored streak is over. Cardinals put 1 up in the 3rd, 1 up in the 4th, 1 up in the 5th, and 4 up in the 6th. But a goose egg here in the 7th. So we go to the bottom of the 7th, and Stevenson faced 5 batters, so he's good for 5 more. And due up for the Red Sox, who trail by 6, 7-1, is the top of the order. Foy, Andrews, and Yastrzemski. I forgot to write Dalton Jones in. I forgot to put a new catcher in. As I knew I was putting Gibson in. Russ Gibson. But I just didn't put the card there. So Gibson is in the catching. Jerry Stevenson is batting ninth. Dalton Jones is out of the game. So that's Dalton Jones. We marked he struck out, but we just didn't. Okay. Willis only faced one batter. So Larry Jaster, again, he is good for 12, we said. He faced one guy, he struck him out, so he's good for 11. Russ Gibson comes in to catch, or was catching. Alrighty, so top of the order, and Larry Jaster, lefties 217, righties 249. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if we can get bottom of the seventh. Joe Horner's only good for 5 batters, so let's see if we get Jaster through an inning here. Joe Horner, right, Bob? He was the closer, correct? Bob, it is a very fun game. Again, I don't play anything fast, but when I play without, streaming, I can play quicker than this. But I enjoy calling the game and talking to the chat. You can get the free download, and you get the 484 World Series teams, playoff, the National League Championship teams and the American League Championship teams. So you can check it out if you like. And it's a free download demo PDF files. So, alrighty. So here's Larry Jaster, and he's going to face Foy, Andrews, and Yastrzemski. Here's the pitch to Joe Foy. Foy is 1 for 2. He has singled, walked, and flown to center. And that is an 82. And that's out of Jaster's control factor. We go to the Foy card, and Foy against lefties is a 309 hitter. And 0 through 45, and that's a 48, swing and a miss. Got beat by the high fastball. He was trying to jack one out. So one out here in the bottom of the seventh. And here's Mike Andrews, the second baseman, as he gets his second consecutive start. He is struck out twice, and once the first time up, a hit and run, strike him out, throw him out, double play, and he singled once. Off lefties, 275. Laster looks into McCarver, nods his head. He kicks and deals to Mike Andrews, and that's an 89. Again, Laster just not hitting his spots. Andrews needs a 0 through 46, and he does not get it. That's a 96. And a 96 is a fly ball, and that's carrying out to right. Maris going back at the track, reaches up, makes the catch. He made it look easy, Roger Maris. 2 up, 2 down. It looks like we're heading for a deciding game 7, and once again, a home team looks like they're going to lose. No home team has won a game. Yastrzemski has doubled, was stranded at second in the bottom of the first since then, and that came after they strike him out, throw him out, hit and run attempt, double play. He's flown to center, grounded to second. Here's the pitch from Laster, lefty-lefty matchup to Yaz. And the green dies jump the shark. Okay. And that's a 30. As my chair is stuck on the rug now. We're just having all kinds of technical difficulties. So a 30, lefty-lefty. And Yaz on a 30 is a single to center. So Yastrzemski singles off Jaster, I think I call him Laster, Larry Jaster. So Yaz picks up his second hit. Jaster's good for 8 more batters now. And here's Tony Conigliaro. Tony sees 0 for 3, struck out twice, and flown to Brocken left. He's looking to drive something out of the ballpark. Jaster, righties hit 249. Conigliaro batted 303 off lefties. This could be his last batter. Here's the pitch from Jaster to Conigliaro, and that's a 71. So we go to the Tony C card. And he needs a 0 through 38. And he gets a 49, and he's swinging a miss. So again, Jaster gets a strikeout on the high cheese. Side is retired. Yastrzemski stranded at first. We go to the top of the 8th, 7-1 Cardinals, as it looks like they will force a Game 7. Back out on the hill for the Red Sox, good for 5 more batters, is Jerry Stevenson. He broke up that scoring streak of the Cardinals. And he will face a pinch hitter, because I think Jaster's day is done. And that he will face, they used 3 pinch hitters in this game, Spezio, then Tolan, then Ricketts. So we'll go in that same order. I would use Bobby Tolan, though. So we'll go Spezio. I can't do that. I just can't do that. I have to use Bobby Tolan. All right, Bobby Tolan. We're not going to go in the same order. Can't do it. Can't do it. Not the right move. So we're going to go Bobby Tolan. So Bobby Tolan is going to pinch hit for the pitcher, Larry Jaster. So here's Bobby Tolan, top of the 8th. Left-handed batter. And he hit righties at a 269 clip. That's Bobby Tolan. Let's see. Now Jerry Stevenson. Lefties only batted 203 off Stevenson, though. Tolan digs in. Here's the pitch from Stevenson to Tolan. And that is an 81. We go to the Tolan card. And off righties, 0 through 41. And that's a 77. There will be an error check, though. 77 is a line drive right back at Stevenson. His defensive rating is a 99, and it's a 39. He makes the play. Good reaction by Stevenson. So Tolan hit the ball on the numbers, but right at Stevenson. So that's 1 out. Top of the order at Lou Brock. Again, lefties only hit 203 off Jerry Stevenson. Here's the pitch from Stevenson to Brock. That's a 13. That's in Stevenson's control range, 10 through 45. Lefties need a 0 through 22. And Brock gets an 86. And that ball is up in the air. That's a pop-up. Out to Petrocelli at short. He makes the catch. So Stevenson jams Lou Brock. That's 2 down on the pop-out. And here's Curt Flood. Flood is 2 for 4. He's knocked in 2 RBIs. He's singled and homered and scored a run. In the bread of the sandwich, he is popped out to second and grounded to Petrocelli. Trying to keep the inning alive. Here's the pitch to Curt Flood. Stevenson deals him a 39. So again, off the Stevenson card, righty-righty matchup, 0 through 22. And that's a 99. That ball is driven deep. Deep to right field. And Fenway Park, we got to go to the ballpark check. Fenway, okay, we got that up. Curt Flood bidding for his second home run. He's a 48. And that is a 27. That's not going to do it. So a 48 and a 27, Fenway Park. He would need a 0 through 7. And Conigliaro makes the catch at the warning track in front of the wall. Side is retired. Flood just missed his second home run. So Jerry Stevens, once again, puts a goose egg up on the board. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 7-1 Cardinals. Jerry Stevenson doing his J-O-B. He faced 3 batters, so he's good for 2 more. Due up for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 8th to face a new pitcher. Now I'm going to leave it up to Bob here. If you want me to go to Joe Horner, who's only good for 5, he's only good for 5 batters, or do you want me to try to get an out or two, and then go to Joe Horner. We have Ray Washburn. I wouldn't go to Ray Washburn. Jack Lamabee, Nelson Briles. I might go to Briles. And due up for the Red Sox, Scott's a righty, Reggie Smith's a switch hitter, and Petrocelli is a righty. And Gibson, you don't want to go to a, well, I mean, Gibson hits 303 off lefties and 222 off righties. So do you want Joe Horn? You want Washburn? Okay, we're going to go to Washburn. Bob Borowick's calling for Washburn. So we're going to go Washburn here. And Washburn actually never pitched out of the pen during the year, but did pitch twice, I think, in the World Series out of the pen. Oh, you want to go to Briles now? You want to go to Briles? Briles, definitely. Okay. Going to go to Briles. Okay, so Washburn does not come in. So Bob Borwick in the chat, a big Cardinals fan, is going to try to bridge the gap to Joe Horner. I know the Cardinals have a 6-run lead, but they need to win this game. So he's going to go to Nelson Briles. Well, I think that's a good move, to be honest with you. All right, so Jaster pitched an inning and 2/3. He had to have he had to pitch an inning and 2/3. I messed that up the way I marked it. An inning and 2/3, and here comes Nelson Briles in the bottom of the 8th to try to bridge the gap. To Horner. Briles in 1967, 14-5 with 6 saves and a 2.43 earned run average. Lefties hit 263, righties 223. And here's Nelson Briles. He's in the game. And that is the 4th pitcher the Cardinals have gone to. Yeah, as Bob says, yep, with the righties. I agree with you. I know you think I know you're joking. I don't cheat. That's why I hate when I try to do what they do. I don't even know why the Red Sox started Gary Waslewski. I'd have to look into. I mean, I know they did. I can read Baseball Reference. But why would you start him? I would have started Lee Stange. All right, here's the boomer. Here's Briles. Here's the pitch. And Briles' control factor, see, good call, 10 through 67. What did we roll? A 67. It goes off the Briles card. Very important. 0 through 18, Boomer needs. He doesn't, oh, no, he gets a 70. So he is out. He is out, and that is a line shot out to left. And Brock makes the catch, so that's 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 8th, 7-1 lead for the Cardinals. And here comes a switch hitter, Reggie Smith. He'll be batting lefty off the right-handed throwing Nelson Briles. Reggie Smith batted only .234, though, off righties. Briles gave up a .263 batting average against lefties. Here's the pitch to Smith from Briles, and that is a 14. We go off the Briles card, and lefties must get a 0 through, and he doesn't give up a home run to lefties, 0 through 22, and that's a 45. That is a hard hit ground ball to second. Up with it is Javier, 2 down. So far, so good. Briles definitely bridging that gap. And Briles is good for... this is what I don't get. This is where this game messes up a little bit. He's only good for 13 batters, and he started 14 games, so he had to be better than that. But I think they just took an average of the innings pitched. So we're going to stick with the 13 out of the pen. I'm not going to reduce that. And he's not, so he's good for another 11. 2 outs, base is empty. Here's Rico Petrocelli. Petrocelli is 2 for 3. He's knocked in the only Red Sox run back in the bottom of the 6th with a double. He singled and has flown out to center. Here's the pitch to Petrocelli from Briles, and that's a 34. Briles is wheeling and dealing, and righties need a 0 through 18, and that is a 96, and that is a fly ball. 96 is a fly ball out to right. Maris is there. He makes the catch. Side is retired. Cardinals 3 outs away from forcing a Game 7 and keeping the trend of no home team winning a game. The road team has won every game in this series, which is really phenomenal. And Jerry Stevenson's good for 2 more batters. He's going to stay out there. He's going to face Maris and Cepeda, and then we'll see. So here comes... I didn't make any defensive... I'm good, yeah. No defensive changes here. Here comes Roger Maris. Maris is 1 for 4. He's tripled. Here's the pitch from Stevenson to Maris. That is a 0-5, so a range play. And that's a 0-3 on a range play. And that's to the pitcher, Jerry Stevenson. So Jerry Stevenson, as the cards are sliding all over the place. I just cut them out on regular paper because I printed the PDFs. I wasn't going to put them on that nice, the different harder paper. Oh, range is 90. And that's a 62. I believe he will make the play on the range play. 62 on a 90. That is an out, as that goes 1-3. So that's 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Here comes Orlando Cepeda. Cepeda is 2 for 4. He scored a run. He singled twice. Here's the pitch to Cepeda from Stevenson, and that is a 75. We go to the Cepeda card, righty-righty matchup, and he needs a 0 through 45, and that's a 14, and a 14 is a single to left. Error check on Yastrzemski. No error, that's a 10. And now Stevenson has hit his fatigue. And Tim McCarver's coming up. And you say, oh, go to the lefty, Sparky Lyle. No, bad idea. McCarver hit 273 off lefties, and if you go to the Lyle card, lefties batted 302 off of him. -5, so it's lefties only batted 203. So we're gonna leave Stevenson in. His control factor goes from 10 to 45 to 10 to 40. We -5. Here's the pitch from Stevenson to McCarver. 1 out, 1 on, and that is 79. Wouldn't have mattered. And McCarver off righties, 304. And that's a 29. And a 29 is a single to center. And that's it for Jerry Stevenson. So 1 out, 2 on as Cepeda moves to second. Stevenson's day is done. So Stevenson actually pitched quite well until now when he tired. He got the first out. He's responsible for the 2 runners on. 5, 6. Stevenson pitched 2 innings. 2 1/3, excuse me, 2 1/3. And now up is Mike Shannon and Javier and Dahl Maxwell. And we're not going to go to Lyle. Jose Santiago, who's pitched 2 games in this series, will try to get the final 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. So here comes Jose. Oh, can you see Santiago? Control factor 10 through 49. Stamina of 12. Again, that's not correct, in my opinion. He's another one of these guys who pitched out of the pen and started. He started 11 games and had 39 relief appearances. So I think, again, they take an average, but in later versions of these cards, they actually had 2 different, I believe they have 2 different stamina factors, I think. I took a quick look at some later versions. I bought a ton of seasons because they're really cheap when you download them. So we're going to keep them at 12. We're not going to say, just like I did with Nelson Bryles. I'm not reducing it. So here's Santiago. He's in the game. 1 out, 2 on. Santiago's done with his warm-up tosses, and he's going to face Mike Shannon, hoping to induce a double play ball. Cepeda's at second. McCarver's at first. Here's the pitch from Santiago to Shannon, and that is a 51, just out of the control range, 10 through 49 is Santiago. Righty-righty matchup. Shannon, 236 against righties. He needs a 0 through 34. And the hot hitting continues for the Cardinals. That's a 23. A 23 is a single to right. A single with one out, runner at second. I don't think there's any single going from second to home on any single. Minus 10 if 2 outs, subtract nothing. Minus 10 plus what Conigliaro's arm. And Cepeda is a 78. That goes to 68. And Conigliaro's arm is a minus 5. So that goes to a 63. And coming up is Julian Javier, who's been hot. They're going to hold him. So bases will be juiced. Cepeda's at third. McCarver's at first. And Shannon. McCarver's at second. Shannon's at first. And here comes Julian Javier. No place to put Julian Javier. 2 for 4. He has singled with a ribby and singled and scored. Red Sox playing for 2. Here's the pitch to Julian Javier. That's an 88. We go to the Julian Javier card. And he needs a 0 through 36. And it's a 37. Big swing. He was going for the grand salami. That's a strikeout. So Santiago fools him with the curveball. 2 down, base is still juiced. And here comes Dahl Maxville. Maxville is 2 for 3. He's walked and scored single. Hit a 3-run homer off the pitcher's card. He doesn't even have a home run on his card. He a la Bucky Dent, the 67 Red Sox. Well, at least Dent had a few homers in 78. And he struck out. Santiago deals to Dahl Maxville. And that is a 93. So we go to the Dahl Maxville card. And that is a 93. That's a fly ball. 93 is a fly ball out to Yastrzemski in left. Racing towards the line. He's got to make this catch. And he does! As he bangs into the side wall. The Cardinals load him up, but they don't bring anyone in. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Red Sox down by 6. The Cardinals 3 outs away from forcing a Game 7. And we'll go to Bob Barwick to see what he wants to do. The big Cardinals fan in the chat. Right now in the game is Nelson Briles. And he faced 3 batters. So he's still good for 10. As Bob Barwick says, I don't follow any game batters faced numbers. I do my own thing based on innings. Briles. Okay, he says stick with Briles. I think that's a good call, to be honest with you. The Red Sox bludgeoned left-handed hitting. All right, so Briles is still good for 10 batters. And we have Russ Gibson. We still have a third catcher. Gibson only batted 171 off righties. We still have Mike Ryan, who's actually on the roster. And we're going to go to George Thomas, who's a 255 for Russ Gibson. And by the miracle of God, if we tie the thing up, Mike Ryan will be the catcher for the rest of the game. And we've run out of room for catchers. So George Thomas will come in to pinch hit to face Nelson Briles. And then we'll have a pinch hitter for Santiago. And we're just going to put him... I'm just going to write him over here to the side. So G. Thomas. And George Thomas in 67 batted 255 off righties. No homers. No homers. Briles is ready to work. He pitches to Thomas. And that's a 64. Still in Briles' range. Righty-righty matchup. Briles needs something more than an 18. Thomas needs a 0 through 18. And that's a 61. And that's a ground ball to Julian Javier. He comes in on it. Throws to first for out number 1. So the pinch hitter grounds out. 4-3. Cardinals 2 outs away from forcing a Game 7. And another pinch hitter will come up. This time for Jose Santiago. Let's see, we got Mike Ryan left, Jerry Adair, and Ken Hawk Harrelson. And okay. Need base runners. It'll be Jerry Adair. Last game he had a pinch hit. I think it was a 2-run homer that just cleared the wall. That was funny, Bob. Busch Stadium's a bigger stadium. I needed a 0-1. I rolled a 0-1. That was hilarious. I didn't win the lottery though, so I wish the luck was on the lottery. All right, here's Jerry Adair. So Jerry Adair will pinch hit for Jose Santiago. He started the first 3 games of the World Series. Andrews has started the last 2. We'll call it pinch hitter for now. 1 out, no one on. Bryles deals to Jerry Adair. Again, Bryles control factor 10 through 67, and that's a 33 righty-righty matchup. Jerry Adair needs a 0 through 18, and he's not going to get it. That's a 65. No error. Check off the pitcher's card. A 65 is a line shot right back at Nelson Bryles. He snares it with a smile, and that's 2 down. So Jerry Adair hit the ball hard, but Bryles, cat-like quickness, and that's out number 2. So 2 outs. The Cardinals 1 out away from forcing a Game 7 and keeping the trend of no home teams winning in their own ballpark alive. If they win, it would be the 3rd time the Cardinals would win at Fenway. Remember, the Red Sox went into Busch Stadium down 2 and swept 3. And it's all going to come down to 1 game, it looks like. Here's Joe Foy. Foy is 1 for 3. He has singled, walked, was thrown out on the failed hit and run on the attempted stealing, and struck out. Trying to keep the line moving. Bryles deals to Foy, and that is a 69, just out of his control factor. We go to the Joe Foy card, righty-righty matchup. Foy needs a 0. Righty-righty matchup, 0 through 38, and it's an 8. And that's a walk, so Foy keeps the line moving, and what little hope, it stays alive. And I'll bring up Mike Andrews. Andrews 1 for 4. He has struck out into a hit-and-run double play, struck out again, singled, and flown out to Roger Maris deep. Foy will be off on contact. Bryles rocks and fires to Mike Andrews, and that is a 40. Off the Bryles card, this could be it. Mike Andrews, again, righties need 0 through 18, and that's a 53. Bounding ball. Hit out to Dahl Maxville at short. He flips to Julian Javier. Ball game over. The Cardinals win in quite convincing fashion, but behind the pitching of Dick Hughes and a bunch of relievers, 7-1. They force a Game 7. The winning pitcher is Dick Hughes. The losing pitcher is Gary Waslewski, though he did not pitch poorly. Well, he actually did pitch poorly. He gave up 2 runs in 4 innings. But then the rest of the Red Sox pitching staff gave up 5. So the Cardinals force a Game 7 to the delight of Bob Borowick. As Bleacher Bums Gaming's in the chat. He says hello to everyone. Well, hello, Bleacher Bums Gaming, another wonderful channel in our community. Check it out. And Anthony, I've been working on the, I think maybe next week I'll have something up on the channel on Glory Days Boxing. I'm still messing up on a few things. I probably will mess up next week too. But we'll get through it. I do like the game. It flows very nice. Thank you very much for letting me beta test it. And if I find any more typos, I will email you. As Bob Barwick says, go Cardinals. And we went an hour and 50 minutes for the game, but I talked a lot to the chat. Probably could have got it down to an hour and 30. That's okay. We had a lot of fun. Bob managed the Cardinals to a victory. Bob, hopefully you'll be back for Game 7. Now, what we do, Bob, is I go with the traditional lineup for the Cardinals. Absolutely, Anthony, I will. It's not that I don't have questions. I'm just not used to the game. I get excited and I want to go fast. I'm like, oh, this game flows. This game flows. I love it. And I mess up. I'm like, I don't check the power all the time. Oh, Bob says for pitchers, for pitcher stamina, 275 to 200 innings, 30 batters. Yeah, that seems about right to me. I like that. So, yeah, if you're around, Bob, I don't know if I'm playing it tomorrow. I think I'm going to just to get it done. I've enjoyed this. I have a bad habit. I start other projects because I have a lot of projects going, but I don't mind it. I really do enjoy this game. I go a little quicker with Strat because I know it a little better. I don't know all the rules with this. I'm still a little clunky with a couple of the rules, which I've read through that. It's only 8 pages. I've read through it like 5 times. I'm like, how come you don't pull the infield in on a sacrifice button? It doesn't matter. I've read through it 5 times, so I might go on the website and see if I'm doing so. Either way, I enjoy the game, and even if I mess up a few things, I think it plays well. But I like the modification you did. I'm going to actually cut and paste that later, or just write it down. I think I will do that. I like that, Bob. Thank you. As Bob says, it's been fun. Yeah, if you're around tomorrow, if you want, you go to Baseball Reference or whatever. It's the lineup. Bob Gibson's going to start against Jim Lomborg. I'm not going to do any short rest thing for either of them. They're going to pitch with their control factors. The Red Sox lineup. And Bob, you have to admit, I didn't foobar it. I played it so the Cardinals, the Red Sox, the only difference is anyone who plays right field is Tony Conigliaro, and we also have Sparky Lyle. And Conigliaro always bats fourth no matter who they have in right. And then I maneuver the lineup with the rest of the players. So, anyhow, let me say thank you to Bob Barwick. We had a lot of fun with it. And Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming. And congrats to Anthony, who has helped coach his high school team that he's coaching to the playoffs, and we wish you much luck there. And thank you to Clinton Parks. And Herb Pilgrim. And the original Grognard. Thank you very much. Check out all those channels. And Bobby Cantalone. Cantalano, excuse me. Thank you. She stops by and always says hi. That's really kind of her. She's not a big sports fan, but it's very nice that someone in our community just comes by, says hi, gives me a thumbs up. Also, I'm going to be, we might, on Wednesday, or sometime this week, I have a list of players who played for the Yankees and Red Sox. And I'm trying to get a few people in a live Google Hangout. If not, we can do it through chat. And we're going to we'll pick the name of the team. It's either Yank Sox or Red Yanks. And we're going to pick a team from players who played for both teams. And I got to come up with a rule so we don't pick all the best players. Once you pick someone from a certain era, we can't pick from that era again, I think. And I'll make the team up in Strat. I could possibly make it up in Action PC too. But one of those two will make up a team of the ones we pick. And we can set lineups and stuff. And then we'll play the best teams with the Yank Sox or the Red Yanks. So I think it'd be kind of fun. Herb Pilgrim's up for it. I mentioned it to him. So, I think Anthony, you're probably busy, but that most likely me and Herb and maybe Ron Juckett will do it. We'll pick a team. And we'll be all rooting for the same team. See how cool that is? All right, take care, everyone. Thank you very much. Health and happiness. As Bob Barwick says, how about yank my socks? I like that. That's pretty funny. So thank you very much for taking time watching this. We had fun. Hopefully Bob Barwick will be back. I say we're probably going to play the Game 7 tomorrow, if not Wednesday. I might do something else tomorrow. But I really do enjoy this game. This is Dice Baseball from 1400 Gen or Gen 1400. There's a free download. And it's PDF, and I just used regular paper to cut them out. I have a ton. I went nuts. I bought a ton of seasons for $3-4 a piece, which adds up. But I bought a lot. I probably won't even play them all, but it's been a lot of fun. With card and dice, what I realize I can do what I want. I don't. Some of the games, like Out of the Ballpark now, if you want to play the World Series, they give you the team-ending lineup, the season-ending roster. So I could not do this with Tony Conigliaro. I'd have to do the season starting roster, which means you're not going to have other players. They don't give you the option to play make-believe. They probably do, but it's really hard. And you can do it with Action PC, but I wanted to do it with card and dice. So, and you can do it with Strat too. You probably can't do it without the ballpark, which is on sale for $9, $9.99 still. You got to pick it up. Great baseball game. Everything for $9.99. Pick it up. It's marvelous. So, thank you, health and happiness. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye. God bless. Don't swing at the curveball in the dirt. And as always, you know it's coming. Peace!